Just going over your food log here. So for the Friday, Wednesday, we'll start Wednesday and go up from there. So so you're getting around, for 3 days, it was 2,100, 1,700 calories, and 2,300 calories. So for you, I believe you want to be anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500 calories. More on days that you work out, so closer to the 23, 24, 2,500 on days you work out, and closer to the 2,000 on days that you don't work out. Days that you don't work out, you should still be trying to get in as much activity, as much walking as you possibly can. And carbohydrates are a little high. You got 117 here, 57 here. That was pretty good, and then 148 here. So I typically like to see carbohydrates. If you're not doing keto, I still like to see it relatively low, so somewhere in the 50 to 100 range. And pretty much I like most of them to come from vegetables throughout the day, and then after your workout, so like 1 or 2 meals after the workout, that's when the majority of the non-vegetables, so like the starchy carbs, can come into play. So if you can try to get that down to 50 to 100 for the carbohydrates. The fat, I would like you to get up to somewhere between 150 and 175 per day. That will help to keep the blood sugar stable. It'll turn you more from a sugar burner into a fat burner, so we can tap into your fat stores and we can start burning the body fat off. But do it slowly, don't do it overnight. So I would say add about 10 grams. So you came in at 134, 121, and 138. So you're nearly there. So you're about let's say that's an average of 125. Okay, so just about 10 grams per week, adding more fat in there. The reason I want you to do it slowly is because some people, when you're switching over to more fat, you have more enzymes to digest carbohydrates than you do fat. So if we adjust it too rapidly, it could cause some issues and you're not able to digest all the fat that you're consuming. So just do that over the period of a month or 5 weeks or 6 weeks. And then, so if we get the fat up, the carbs down, protein, so you're at 141, 126, 156, so about averaging 135. So that's, the protein right now is perfectly fine. So as we get the fat up, the carbs down, and that will help keep the calories around the 2,000 to 2,500 mark. As far as individual foods, so Kraft cheese, that should be fine. The corn, so I'm not sure if it's just corn and black bean. So you want to try and avoid as much corn as you can because most of it is GMO and it's got a lot of pesticides. It adds to the toxin buildup inside the body, and when the toxins build up, then we can't actually use the body fat, as energy, so it typically stays on the body. So if you can, try and get rid of the corn as much as you can. Chocolate milk, you want to stay away from regular milk as much as possible. The majority of it is pasteurized, and when it is pasteurized, it kills the good bacteria and the bad bacteria, and they don't do anything to take that out. So you basically have dead bacteria floating in the milk, and yeah, there's some other things about chocolate milk. They actually use expired regular milk to make the chocolate milk, and then there's a whole issue of processing and all that stuff, and it's got a lot of carbohydrates in it as well. So for every 4 carbohydrates, that is equivalent to 1 teaspoon of sugar. So 26 carbs is going to be 8 teaspoons of sugar. Spencer, I told you, turn that off. So four carbohydrates is equal to 1 teaspoon of sugar, and that doesn't matter if it's coming from broccoli, or oatmeal, or chocolate milk. Obviously, broccoli would be the best choice because you get the vitamins and nutrients and phytoenzymes and a lot of stuff that you're not going to get from the other places. And plus, the net carbs is a lot lower. And Advocare's Spark, like I said, I do believe that has artificial sweeteners. I'll bring you our healthy energy shot tomorrow. Eggs, perfectly fine. Whoa, Spark! I didn't know how Spark had that many calories. I thought it was just a energy shot. Okay. Eggs, perfectly fine. And butter case, more cheese. Okay, that's fine. And Plantars Deluxe whole cashews. Okay. So cashews should be fine. You just want to make sure the cashews are any kind of nuts. You want to get them as raw, or you want to get them raw if possible. Roasted peanuts. Yep, so here roasted, you want to get raw as much as possible, because when you do consume like roasted or whatever the other types of ways that they make them, it destroys the nutrients in them and the minerals and vitamins you don't really digest. Dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is fine. The higher percentage you can get, the better. So I typically recommend over 90% dark chocolate. I know Trader Joe's has a pretty good dark chocolate bar. I use 100%, but some people can't stand that, so I understand. Big Red Hot Smokies. I'm assuming that's sausage. That's fine. Cream cheese, taco seasoning. Okay. MCL. Whoa, I've been MCL forever. Okay. Salmon, green beans, broccoli, and chocolate cheesecake. Yep. And with the treats, if you can plan out your treat meals, so like when it's going to happen, and just stick to it. Basically, 90% of the time is what I recommend, especially when starting. So plan out what days, what meal you're going to have a treat, and that gives you something to look forward to. Plus, it's got most treats have a lot of carbohydrates in it, so it just adds to the carb load. And then the rule of 90% is basically stick to your nutrition plan 90% of the time, and you'll pretty much get the results that you're looking for. All right, so here, cheese, cashews, bacon, eggs. Yep, so that's almost a perfect breakfast there. Would like to see you add a little bit coconut oil or something. With the bacon, there is bacon grease, so make sure you add that. The bun. Oh, we got some fries in there. Yep, gotta cut those carbs down. Just anytime you're out to eat, I always ask them to cook the food in butter, because usually they will cook the food in whatever oil they have, and it's usually soybean oil, canola oil, and that's like the worst thing that you can consume. It's highly oxidized, and it basically just inflames the entire body, so it's going to cause more issues. So I always ask them cook it in butter. I always ask for extra butter as well, so you can just top everything with more fat and keep the blood sugar more stable throughout the day. And so this Quest bar, I know it's net carbs, and they do a lot of things with that. But that would be a perfect post-workout meal. Again, I'll bring you my bar as well tomorrow. With the burrito bowl, typically with Chipotle, so that's quite a few carbs. So it's 15 teaspoons of sugar right there. With Chipotle, I usually do a bowl. I'll do like the no rice, no beans, fajitas, the tomatoes. I'll do a double sour cream, double cheese, lettuce, and usually guac. And usually I'll do, well, the meat doesn't matter, whatever meat you want to use. So that keeps the carb load down a lot. And Thin Mint cookies, yeah, there should be a couple recipes in the recipe book. There's a keto ice cream, and I know there's a couple other things in there that are pretty tasty. So you can find pretty much anything. I know there's healthy Thin Mint recipes out there on the interwebs. You can find those, lower the carbs, increase the fat, increase the protein as well, that way as well. But that is just a couple recommendations. Don't try and do them all at once. I think the big thing is just with total calories, keeping it between the 2,000 to 2,500, and the total carbs, lowering that slowly down to between 50 and 100, and then increasing the fat to between 150 to 175, and you can even go up to 200 if you want. But doing that over the course of the next 4 to 5 to 6 weeks. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and we'll go from there.